Welcome to the Helping Real Estate Agents podcast, where you get tips and support to grow your real estate business. So kick off your shoes, grab a glass of wine, and get ready for another great discussion. Don't forget to join our Facebook group to ask questions, learn more, and hang out with other agents.
Hi, everyone. This is Tanya Eldert, and I am with the Helping Agents podcast. And it's been a little while since I have been on here, and I apologize. Clear transparency, I was busy. Life happens, and I decided that I wanted to take a couple months off from focusing on the podcast and the blog to finish writing a book that I had started a while ago. And if you remember part of my story, I have recently finished up cancer treatments that I went through at the end of 2020 and all of 2021. In fact, my last surgery was January of 2022, which is why I felt like it was time to start the podcast. But while I was sitting there on the couch going through treatments, I realized that something that was very important to me was to leave some type of legacy to show how I had been helping real estate agents over the last few years. And I wanted to take the things that I knew and that I was passionate about and put it into a book. So what I did for about 2 months was finish up a book that I have been slowly writing and developing over the last 8 years. And what I mean by that, the whole time I wasn't sitting there writing the book. I don't know who sits there and writes a book for 8 years. But I took the systems that I had created and the templates and the worksheets and the spreadsheets and all the information that I've been using to train and mentor and coach the agents. And I put them into the agent, here we go, Systems of Success book. And I'm going to be talking a lot more about this book over the next 6 weeks. And yes, it is shamelessly plugging myself and the book. Okay, so there you go. You want to buy a copy, Agent Systems of Success. You look for it on Amazon, ask for it at your local bookstore. It's published by Success Workbooks. And one of the reasons I made it into a workbook was because I wanted to be able to have you actually work through the systems yourself, have those downloads. So, all right, so let's move on into what today's podcast is actually about, because now you know I took 2 months off. Well, what happened during those last 2 months? Oh my gosh, the market went from crazy to semi-normal. Okay, so what do I mean by semi-normal? When I started in the business 7 or 8 years ago, when a house went on the market, it was a bragging point if I could get it under contract, sometimes closed, but usually at least under contract in 30 days. So what happened during COVID when there was a housing shortage and people wanted a place to live for whatever reason? Everybody's life was in upheaval for a couple of years there. People didn't want to move. Housing shortage. There were supplies from getting the supplies to build houses. So sellers commanded the market and prices went sky high, 20 offers on a home. Buyers are throwing offers left and right, over asking, and things were just nuts. Sellers were disappointed if they didn't have 10 offers on the first weekend. Well, folks, life is going back to tidbit normal now, whatever we called normal before or will in the future. So the pendulum has started to swing back. And during this, now houses, especially those who are overpriced, whose sellers still are convinced that they're going to get top dollar plus, are not getting offers. They're not even getting showings. And they don't know why. Because they are still stuck in 2 or 3 months ago. And some agents don't know why either, because they're doing the appraisals. But guys, those appraisals are based on what you did and sold 3 or 4 months ago, 6 months ago, depending on when you're doing your comps. That's not this market. So things are getting a little bit more balanced. And what is happening is that the agents that are serious, who have systems in place, who have value, who have everything going, are now going nuts. I mean, I have an agent who, I swear, her head's starting to spin, and she's like looking for other agents to help her. She's looking for agents to train, and she's just going crazy. And there was a little lull of 3 or 4 months, maybe less than that, 2 to 3 months, where nothing was happening, where it was shifting. Now it's going back again. So some of you are sitting there going, oh my gosh, how do I survive this? Because during the COVID times, a lot of people took that time and got their real estate license. And they didn't have to do a whole lot to sell a house. Let's be completely honest. 4 months ago in the right market, if you stuck it up with a picture of laundry on it, it would sell. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you guys. It would sell. I saw the craziest things, getting multiple offers. There was no marketing happening. It was just toss it on and step back and get your real estate offer spreadsheet ready for your sellers, because you were going to get multiple offers. Okay, we're past that. It was interesting for the time it was. It's over. Let's not go back there. That was just nuts. So now we have to get into the actual jobs of real estate, the actual job of marketing. And you are going to have 2 things in place to survive this. Okay? Because there's a lot more agents that have ever been in the business. And at least 80% of them will not last out the next 2 years, because it's going to get a little bit harder. Let's be honest, it will get more difficult. So, what are the 2 things you must do right now so that you can survive the next few years in real estate? Now, if you're an experienced agent and you're listening to this and you know what you're doing, and you've been through an upside and a downside and a downturn and a flip around, great, you go. For the rest of you who are kind of wondering what happens next, you need to have systems in place to help you navigate this. And that is what my Systems of Success about. But basically, systems are the ways that you're going to handle your business. Those are your business plans, your financial plan, your marketing plan, how you are going to work with every buyer, how you are going to work with every seller. It is the way that you are going to do everything, that you treat customer A the same as customer B, because you have it in a system. And it works. Okay. So you have to do that. There's no more hodgepodge all over the place. Well, I'll do this over here and I'll try that over here. No, you find out what works and you stay consistent. The next thing you have to do, besides systems, is standards. You need to have standards in place that you won't waver from. So what do I mean by standards? One of my standards was that I always got a home warranty for my buyers and my sellers. And of course, if I got it for my sellers, it would transfer to the buyers. Something that I was very passionate about, because I wanted to make sure that they were at least covered their first year. And I have done that consistently for the $150,000 house for the first home buyer to the almost $1 million house that I'm closing in a week or 2. Now, of course, the type of home warranty differs a little bit, just because, the $1 million house needs to have an add-on of a saltwater pool warranty. But, in general, I kept the same standards. You know why? Because that first-time home buyer might come back with a referral for another person, just like the other homeowner might. Okay, I want to have a standard of this is what I do for everybody. I use a transaction coordinator for everybody. That is one of my standards. I have pretty high standards of how I want to treat the people I work with and how I want to have my systems run. And that's what you need to do. You need to figure out, this is the standard. If I go above it, if I wow them, if I offer a home warranty plus the pool plan, great. But at a bare minimum, they're going to get the home warranty. Why? Because you're consistent, you're standard, you're going to get more referrals, you're going to be known as an agent that people want to work with, because I'm assuming that you have high standards of honesty and treating people like you want to be treated. And that doesn't just include the buyers and the sellers. That includes your vendors, the other agent on the other side, your title company, the lenders you work with. Make sure that you are treating them just like you want to work with somebody. Have standards, have systems. We're going to go over those systems over the next 6 weeks. So make sure, if you are not following this YouTube channel, if you are not following the podcast, you put it on there, on my Facebook page, because you're going to want to know how to dwell into or dive into those systems that are going to help you, that consistency. So not only doing one deal, it's easy to do one deal, guys. What happens when you get to 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 deals a month? Tom Simon, one of the broker I work with, in his first year did 97 deals. That's a lot of deals to be juggling your first year. But he had systems in place. He had people in place. He co-authored this book with me because I'd only built to a certain point. And that was to the point of really just adding admin and some agents helping out here. I didn't build a mega team like he did. Okay, so we talk about that. The systems of success were actually about how to go from the beginning agent all the way to opening up your own brokerage. But we have every system in between. Okay, think about it. Make some notes. What systems do you have in place so that you can maintain your consistency or build? You might need to build. There's a marketing system in there. And that you can work on your business, not just in your business. Because those agents who are just running around like the crazy person and reacting as things pop up and not working on growing their business, they're probably the ones who aren't going to survive for the next couple of years. Because, I don't know if there'll ever be a quote unquote normal. The fact that we're unnormal is probably going to be the new normal. But you're going to have to be able to have certain things in place so that you can grow your real estate business, if that's what you want to do. I hope this was helpful. I look forward to the next few weeks of working with you to help with the different systems. And it will be shorter podcasts from here on out. I know I try to keep these things under 10 minutes and this one's working on 15, but hey, it's been a couple months. You get a little bit more of me this time. But I hope everyone has a wonderful week and, keep an eye out. I hope this can help. Connect with me.